I can't sit still.
I know. That's what I said about it. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the very next episode of The Remedy with Tova Sido and
Janice Gaunt and
Tom Bridwell.
yay, Tom, I'm really liking that music.
I had a feeling that you guys would get into it.
I like it.
I like it too.
It's such a natural, like when they start singing, it's such a natural place to start.
Yeah.
Feels good.
Yeah.
Good job, Tom.
Well, thank you.
Okay, before we get started on the third week of tips on how to be contentment, we need to thank our sponsor for this week is Julie Sanders, precious Julie Sanders. I officiated her and her husband's wedding in New Orleans.
Nice.
A little over a year ago. Now they have a little baby.
Oh, thank you, Julie. That's
Yes.
so kind of you. We appreciate it very much.
We sure do. Okay, we're going to get right back into it. We're going to continue our conversation, finish off these last few of the 15 tips
Yep.
to how to be content.
Sounds great.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
Okay.
I love number 9.
Me too.
Have goals. Having goals gives you something to look forward to. A purpose-driven life ultimately gives you content. And as you reach every goal, you feel happier and appreciate more of what you have. It gives you something to hold on to. Being grounded helps you realize what's around you that needs to change or get improved. Do you feel like you're always still evolving and growing? Or why are you giggling at that?
I was just sitting here thinking that my goals are not to have goals.
That's amazing.
Well, now that I've got this book about finished,
Yeah.
then so that's I checked that off my list. I mean,
Yep.
it's not published yet, but I just showed showed Tom and Tova the cover that is
amazing.
so it'll be coming out before long. But I'm really glad to have that finished. Really, I really have no goals. And that's my goal.
That is fabulous.
I want to travel. I want to hang out with my grandkids. I do that anyway, but that's just, I don't have anything
You don't have to
big
achieve
that I
it.
need to accomplish.
Yeah. I think that's brilliant, actually.
Well, actually, I do have a goal. My goal is to be a centurion, so that means I've got, 30
Take
more
care of
years. I'm
yourself.
going to have to take care of myself.
do you really want to live to be 100? Like, that's a goal? That's
Yeah.
something you'd love to do?
I think it'd be great. Unless I'm just, batshit crazy.
Yeah.
Walking around without my shirt on. And
Or
then
a
I
diaper.
told my kids to, put me somewhere safe.
Take me to Oregon.
But make it nice.
But make it nice. Please make it nice.
But I don't have things that I really want to accomplish. I've finally come up with a really good focaccia bread recipe. So that's
Yum.
good. But it's interesting because I've always had all these goals.
I'm trying to think. I mean, I don't know that I have monster goals.
Aren't you glad?
I've never been like a New Year's resolutions girl. I've never had a vision board. And I don't know if I should or not, but those are not like, I really think I just like to wake up every day and do the best I can that day. And I'm like you. I love to travel. I love spending time with my kids. I love to work, but it's not like I'm like, I want to make $1 million this year. I'm not, that's not my massive motive. I'd like to get married to Craig. We planned a date.
You did?
Yeah.
Are you going to announce
June.
it? Okay.
June 22nd next year. Just family.
This year? Or
I mean,
the
next year.
Oh.
2024.
Oh.
So as soon as Georgie graduates, like 3 weeks later,
Oh,
we'll get
nice.
married.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
So
great.
that's a goal,
Yeah, that is a goal.
but I don't have any checklist about it. Tom, are you real goal oriented?
Yes, I am.
You really? You have lots of goals?
Yes. I mean, daily goals. Nothing major. I mean, but yes, I do have. Nothing makes me happier than like having like a to-do list, getting that done. Sometimes maybe a weekly goal, but as far as life goals, I can't say that I have any of those.
That's kind of the same with us.
I mean, kind of like what she said. Just my goal is to not have goals.
Yeah.
What freedom we just gave a bunch of people.
And you know what's funny about that, Tom? When if I wake up, like today, I was looking at my weekly appointments. I don't have a bazillion of them. I'm so happy about not having those, and that I have like probably 10 people scheduled for the week, and then that's all. And I love that. I love a day when I have nothing to do.
Yes,
I do too.
That's always fun.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
But I conversely, I really do love to. Let's say there's 9 or 10 things on my to-do list. Got to drive over a bunch of miles and organize a bunch of things. I love to find out how I'm going to do this the fastest, most efficient way. You know, how I'm going to drive and make a loop around the city, and then I'm going to organize this so that this will be ready to go there. Like, I love to get everything in a perfect, and then just execute it. You know what I'm saying? There's something very fun about that.
That's good.
I'm way more like you. On the days where I'm not like Monday is by far my busiest day. I wake up early and I go until like I'll be done tonight at 6:30. I'm back to back. And that is like, Monday.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about this, I feel like, in a previous podcast. And Mondays are my busy day too, because we do this podcast, and then I've got to go get Betty. I've got to take her to Mustang Cheer, and I have 45 minutes from the time I drop her off until I have to leave Central Market in order to make it back to Mustang Cheer to not be late for the carpool. So that 45 minutes at the grocery store, if Maureen's doing any kind of meal planning for the week, I have to use this app that does the routing of the grocery store in order.
There's such a thing?
Yes, the Our Groceries app, you can put the sections of the grocery store in a certain order so that I can actually get all the shopping done in the 45 minutes. Because if I'm going all across the store back and forth,
like a
that
typical
work.
man. So, I love watching a man in the grocery store.
Well, you know, and really and truly at Central Market, it's big.
Well, it's also kind of a trail.
It's convoluted.
Yeah.
It's convoluted, but there's a one-way trail that starts with the produce and then goes into the meat section, and then goes into the wine and then the dry goods, and so you can order. Are you talking
about the one on Lovers?
Yes,
I was there this morning. I did that same route.
So we figured out a way to organize that list, that app, in the orders so that I can like get it as efficiently done. And then back over to Mustang Cheer.
That's so funny because Tom does our grocery shopping, and he goes to Central Market, and he has it all figured out.
Oh, yeah.
Does he have that app, too?
No, he just knows exactly where everything is in Central Market because he's gone so much.
I do, too. I love it.
I hate it. I hate Central Market because, you know why?
You're trapped?
I don't like those stickers. When you have to code in, and
when you have to do it,
and then the carts don't go in the same direction, and people are always running into me or maybe I'm running into them.
Well, those people are morons. If they're going the wrong direction, you should let them know. You know you're going the wrong way, but you don't want to be a Karen either. You know.
Well, I just decided that. I mean, Tom really likes going to the grocery store, so I'm so very happy.
You
that
only
he
have
does
to do the stickers on the items that don't have stickers. Like lemons and limes have stickers individually on them.
Yeah.
Apples a lot of times will. So if they have the sticker, you don't have to do it. But I get what you're saying. It is a pain in the butt to do the stickers.
Yeah, when I first started going to Central Market, that really beat me down.
But I love their
selection.
stuff. I do too. I think it's a good grocery store.
I do too. The quality is amazing. But I don't I refuse. I went to IKEA one time Have you ever been there?
I'm going this afternoon.
Why? It's awful.
Because I want to look for something that I want in my backyard.
Because I want to look for something.
I'm not a fan of IKEA either.
Oh, I'm not a fan of it either. But I know exactly where I'm going at IKEA. But I have been there.
You can't get out. You can't get out.
No, you have to wander the whole store.
You have to do the whole damn thing.
But I always think, well, I'm burning calories, so I've got more steps.
Oh, I think I'm burning life. Of course, I went when my children were very young, and we were in hell, and I think it was a Saturday. It was hell. I never went back ever.
Well, if either of you need something from IKEA today, I'll pick it up for you.
Are you going alone?
Pick me up some meatballs.
Yeah, I'm going alone. I don't want to go with anybody else.
I could only see you going with with Blair. I could only see you going.
No, she's not going with me.
Okay.
I don't think she would want to.
I guarantee she would not want to. Okay, you take 10.
Okay. Don't compare achievements. Another one of my sayings is, if we compare, we lose, because we can compare and then we may feel one up for a nanosecond, but then if we continue that comparing, then we will go one down. And I just think that if there's too many standards that have been established by people that are not our own value system.
Yeah.
And so that's when we will compare, and I think that we live in a very affluent world right now, and so I think it's easy to do that. And I think that the thing that keeps me from comparing is just gratitude and being just grateful for what I have.
Yep.
But I do think comparing achievements, there's always somebody who's going to one-up me.
And there's always going to be somebody who you one-up.
Yeah. It's just not worth it.
It's not worth it. It's a miserable feeling.
Yeah.
To compare. Because like you said, nobody wins.
No.
If you think about really the feeling that you're better than somebody else, that's not a good feeling.
No.
And it's not coming from a good place. And I certainly don't want to feel less than somebody else. And so you're right. It's just, if you are living in that world, you're kind of miserable.
Well, and comparing is, I can look at my life and maybe compare it to somebody and think, wow, I've got a much easier life and I feel grateful for that, but I think that it's just, comparing comes from a place of insecurity.
Yeah.
And then, so if you are insecure going in and you're comparing and you feel like you're one down, then you're going to, that insecurity is going to just build.
Yep.
And it's also relative anyway.
Yep.
There's no really definition of success or beauty or anything like that that we can actually register.
Where this comes into play, you probably would be surprised to know, for me, would be whenever I'm on the golf course and somebody says, "What do you do for a living?" And I say, "Well, I'm a stay-at-home dad."
I bet.
I'll bet so.
This has been something that has been an adjustment for me.
I bet.
It goes also hand in hand with that previous one, accept yourself.
Yes.
But basically, I had to learn really quickly that you just say it and let them ask the questions, because at the beginning I was like, well, I'm a stay-at-home dad, and then I would go into the backstory of how I got there. And that I'm not just a bum, and I do actually bring money to the table, and my wife doesn't pay for everything. Like, I used to have to try to explain that out of insecurity, not insecurity, but just making sure that people understood that I'm not just a soccer mom kind of deal.
Yeah, that you're actually doing something that you want to do.
Exactly. But nowadays when I say it, I just say it. And if anybody's curious about it, they'll ask. But I'm totally comfortable just saying, I'm a stay-at-home dad. It's pretty awesome. I get to play golf on the weekdays.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's fun.
Sure.
But
I totally get that in a world where,
Yeah.
I mean, men
Yes.
often
How
talk-
much you bench?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Yep. What do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do? That's a, I mean, on the golf course, if you meet somebody for the first time, Tom, I guarantee you by the time you get to the second hole, they've asked you that question.
Yes.
So what do you do for a living?
100%.
Yeah.
Because that's the value system.
Yep.
That's how people are
Ranked.
Yeah.
That's how we're ranked as humans.
That's really interesting.
Yep.
And
I'm
I
so
tell
glad
you
you
what,
said that.
Me too. And I love the fact that you are a stay-at-home dad because you get to, well, first of all, you get to do this sort of thing that is so helpful to us and other people. But that little girl is just so precious.
and your house is so damn clean.
so clean.
Perfect. I wish.
I'm not completely responsible for that. We're tidy, but I don't do the cleaning.
Well,
per
okay,
se.
but you don't have a stack. There's
True.
not one stack in your house of anything.
Well, that's one of my
not
goals.
even mail.
No stacks.
I love it.
I thought you said you didn't have goals.
A stackless house.
I love
gosh.
number 11.
Yeah.
Forgive yourself.
Yeah.
We all make mistakes, and I love how you always say, I don't believe in mistakes. I believe in opportunities.
Learning experiences.
Yep. We all make mistakes and we do things we regret. Forgiving yourself for all the things you feel you've done wrong alleviates the guilt and shame from your life. You know, I think that this kind of goes back to the roommate in your head. Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of times we are more forgiving others is even easier than it is to forgive ourselves. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, not always, but God, we can be really critical and hard on ourselves for our imperfections.
You know, one of the things one of the grace experiences that I've had as I've gotten older is I'm really not very hard on myself. I don't really criticize myself. I mean, I can look in the mirror and see more wrinkles or whatever, but I'm just not hard on myself. That's why I don't do things I really don't want to do, because there's a little bit of freedom that comes, I think, with that as you get older. You don't feel, at least I do not feel any pressure whatsoever to do anything more than what I'm doing.
I don't feel pressure for that either. I think where I struggle with this is thankfully, it doesn't happen often, but if I ever do something that upsets somebody or that I truly care about, like if I did something that hurt you or pissed you off or upset you or let you down or my children or like that would really, I'm too hard on myself. I have a hard time letting go. Like if I did something that really pissed Craig off, I can really jump off the deep end and be like, it takes me longer than I want it to come back from something like that. Like I will be like overly like, oh man, I suck, or I so messed up, or
Tova, you are human.
Yeah.
That is not giving yourself permission to be human.
yeah, I don't give myself a lot of permission.
That takes
human.
practice. And I think that is something that is easier for me to. I don't feel that. I used to.
I wish I did.
But I don't feel it at all anymore.
It's like something from like all the work I've done. That's like something that is still lingering that I don't love. But if I hurt somebody's feelings that I'm not close to, or I said no and somebody wanted me to say yes and now they're mad at me, I don't carry that. But like if I did something that really disappointed my kids, and I don't even know what that is, or if I did something that, like, I've pissed Craig off a couple times, like really pissed him off. And it'll take me a day or two, maybe longer, to like get, like, he'll be like, it's okay, T, I forgive you. Let's move on. And I'll be like, I just can't move on. Like, I can't move on. Like, I will be in my head. I'll be in my stomach. I'll lose my appetite. Like,
you know what would be cool for you to do with that is age that. That's a kid. Mm-hmm. That's not the adult you. That's a child that lives in you that has been shamed mercilessly.
And I was
with not being perfect.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely have some work to do around that.
Yeah, just age it. Pull out a picture of yourself at that age and give her permission to be human.
I do need to be better about it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't want tension. So it's not like my kids will tell me if I do something to piss them off, they'll tell me. Which I'm grateful for. I always want to be like in the know. Like if I've done something that upset somebody, I want the opportunity to fix it. Like it wouldn't be better for somebody to hide it so that we didn't have to deal with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like I'm afraid to deal with tension. It's just if I have disappointed somebody or let somebody down, like I'm getting a stomach ache right now thinking about it.
Okay, so I really want you to do that work. I want you to pull out that picture. Age it, mm-hmm. Pull out a picture, put it on your mirror, and give her permission to be human. Yeah. Because that's from your family of origin.
Totally.
Yeah.
And that exists profoundly in my family.
Mm-hmm. It did. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's hopefully I'm not the only one in the world, and that can.
I think there are a lot of people that really
other people
beat themselves up for hurting somebody's feelings or not being kind or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Not being perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Tackle 12.
Choose to be content. And really, it is a choice. Mm-hmm. And I think that focusing on all the good you have is going to really help with that, because there's always somebody that has something more than you that you might desire. But when you take an inventory of all of your blessings, like your family and your house, and
help.
I mean, it can be material too. It doesn't have to,
of course,
go stare at your handbags if you I mean, if that brings you joy, and that will make a big difference for you if you have trouble with contentment. It's just make it up today I'm going to be content, and I'm going to focus on the things that bring me joy.
I love that, Janice, because I do believe a lot of people spend an inordinate amount of time focusing on their lack or their perceived lack.
Yeah.
Versus all their blessings. It's kind of preposterous, at least from a material standpoint, that I know that there are a lot of people who don't have, having money problems and,
right.
And I'm not minimizing that, but I even think even in the midst of that, you can still find gratitude.
Yeah. And it just helps.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
It's a mindset.
Yeah.
It is a choice.
It's definitely a choice.
I love 13.
Yeah.
Live in the present. I think this is something a lot of people really struggle with.
Mm-hmm. They futurize. Mm-hmm. Or go back in time.
Yeah. Or they're just distracted. They're just too distracted. Mm-hmm. By the present, whether it's their phone or, we're overly stimulated.
Yeah. We have a lot of activity in our lives. And so I think it's really easy not to lose sight of being in the now. And I think that one of the things that I learned in the past was to wiggle my toes. Mm-hmm. And that would bring me back into my body, into exactly where I am in this moment. Mm-hmm.
Are you good at this? Do you feel
I'm
like
pretty good at it.
At living in the present?
Yeah, I don't spend any time regretting the past.
It's great.
And I futurize, but not in an obsessive compulsive way.
I think you
it's just
like
more about
dreaming and planning, having
what's
fun.
What's going to be fun? And
yeah.
What's
Tom, how are you in being present?
I think I'm pretty good. I would grade myself pretty well. I guess what I have to immediately comes to mind would be I do like to plan, but I like to plan at the appropriate time. Sometimes my wife will want to talk about something that's happening in 4 months from now.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of like, how about 4 days from now we can discuss that? Kind of a thing. But yeah, I live in the present pretty well, I think.
That's good.
Yeah.
It is great.
Yeah.
I think it's a gift not only we give ourselves, but we give others.
Oh, for sure.
When I'm with somebody who is having a difficult time being present with me, I want to go. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I want to leave. I would rather not be there than be with somebody who's distracted. Mm-hmm. It feels like a way. And you know what? You can tell. Like if you're talking on the phone with somebody and they're not present with you, like I want to get off.
Yeah, because you'll ask a question and it'll be silent.
Yeah, I'll pause. I'm like, hello? Yeah. It's a very frustrating.
It can be.
Yeah.
It? Yeah.
Or if you're talking with somebody and they're constantly looking at their phone.
Oh, yeah.
Like I do not let my children have their phones at meals or in the car. And they're like, oh, but what's the point of having dinner together if you're going to be on your phone?
Oh, I agree. I think it's...
Or the TV. It's all off.
Yeah.
And you have to be with me.
Yeah, that's good.
Or in the car.
Yeah. Like, in the car, you can get... Kids will talk in the car.
Oh, the car is amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I've been doing with George lately that's been super amazing?
What?
We've been playing cards.
Oh, fun.
And you want to, I mean, that's an amazing way to get some things out of your kids.
Yeah.
Because you're just sitting there with cards.
Yeah.
And you
they'll
ask
talk.
a question and they don't even know that you're like doing that mom thing. But you are.
I love it. That's great. Okay, 14. We're almost finished. Accept the things you cannot change. One of the things that I learned when I started going to Al-Anon was the Serenity Prayer. Mm-hmm. And it's one of my favorite things. And it is, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So it's like when I think, accept the things I cannot change, other people, places, and all of that. And it really helps me stay on my side of the street. Like, well, that's really not my business, you know? And so it keeps me on my side of the street so that I don't get too involved in the lives of others, like my children I'm involved with them, but I'm not
trying to control
it or change it, which I really think that I had to learn how to do that because I thought I was in charge of everything and everybody.
Well, and I think that going back to, so every day I do a gratitude journal. Mm-hmm. It's called the 5-minute journal. Mm-hmm. And it says the top is 3 things you're grateful for. 1, 2, 3. 3 things that would make today great. 1, 2, 3. But those 3, they can't be anything that's out of my control. So it can't be like the weather. Like it would be the one thing that's going to make today great is the sunshine. Well, I don't control the sunshine.
Yeah.
So it's challenging to me to remember that like I'm in control and like it's up to me, you know, and the whole attitude situation.
Yeah.
And there's just a whole bunch of life that's out of my control.
Oh, especially other people. People don't want to be controlled.
No. And you can't.
It is an illusion.
It is. That is an illusion for sure.
People need to know that like right now more than ever too. I feel like
they do.
What motivates that comment, Tom?
I feel like things are a little contentious. I mean, I feel like, I don't know, I'm not trying to go politics on you or anything, but like just the times these days, everyone's in control or wants to control everything. And I feel like there's a lot of instances where people argue over freedoms and I don't know. I feel like that is something that people need to think about right now. You cannot control everybody, and you shouldn't really try as much as people do.
It's so true. And all that anger that comes with a lot of that, and energy, negative energy that comes with that, is such a waste.
Well, and it doesn't work.
Exactly. It's not motivating.
Well, people don't want to be controlled. People who are trying to control other people are the person that is the recipient of that is going to get mad about it because it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with
you. The guys on
Tom.
the morning show, the Musers, were talking about this. They've talked about it a few times, but I remember Gordon saying something about how our phones and technology have made us more this way because we're able to control so much with our phones, and we've gotten really used to having such an amazing amount of control because of the technology at our fingertips that sometimes we forget that life isn't really like that once we get out of our phone and get off, put your screen down. The real world is not always like that, like it can be in your phone.
And you have access to it all day long.
Yes.
So then it can really be upsetting.
Yeah.
And the instant gratification.
Yeah.
It's kind of, it's a little manipulative.
Agreed.
It is. Yeah. Yeah, that's a great point.
15, last but not least, and we'll have to read this because I'm not sure what it means. Focus on the essentials. It says only you can tell what's important to your well-being and what's not. Look into yourself and figure out what you already have that makes you content and what's unnecessary. You can get rid of the excess and focus on the essentials. Once you're able to declutter the unnecessary things, you give room for the important things to grow.
Yeah, and I think uncluttering your brain is the way to do it because if our brains can go to town trying to figure out what's going to be in the future, and that there's no if you're going to be overly focused on the future, you're not going to be content in today.
You know, I love this. This morning I was talking on the phone with my dear friend Natalie, and she was asking me what I was doing today, and I was like, I'm counseling this morning, and then I've got my podcast, and then I'm doing Men of Nehemiah Bible study, and then I've got counseling this afternoon. She was like, I don't know how you do everything that you do, and I could tell that she was like she was feeling less than in that moment, and I was like, Natalie, you are kicking so much ass in your life. Like, you may not do every single thing that I do, but what you do is so important. Like, don't minimize what's essential to you, you know? And I think everybody, it says focus on the essentials. I think everybody's essentials are different and self-defined. Yeah. Like, how what you focus on is completely and totally up to you.
Yeah.
And what I focus on is completely and totally up to me. And I don't think we have to worry about what other people are doing. Like, what's important to you? What I hear in that is what's important to you. Do what's important to you unapologetically. Live your life.
Yeah.
And be so content with those choices. And my choices literally have nothing to do with you or what you think about how I live my life.
No, that's right. That's right.
And
focus on
vice
yourself.
versa.
Yep.
Focus on you and your essentials.
Yeah.
Not everybody is put on this earth to do the same damn thing. And that's why I love, Tom, what you said. Like, okay, there's not a lot of stay-at-home dads, but you know what? It's your choice, and you kick ass at it, and it's perfect for your family. Focus on that. Like, that's amazing, you know?
Yeah.
It's unique, and I'm lucky. I mean, a lot of guys do say that part. They do say, "Wow, I wish I could do that."
Yeah, no kidding.
I don't think
there's
a
a
lot
little
of
bit
men,
of condescension sometimes.
Well, I bet a lot of men don't have the balls to do that because seriously, because it would be such a strike to their ego to say that they are a stay-at-home dad. Like, when so many men's value comes from the title and paycheck, you know, and you're you're taking another route. I don't know. I love it, but that's your essential. Like, unapologetically live it.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
me too.
All right.
Okay.
This is amazing. I love this conversation.
One. Yeah, me too. It was great.
Yep. Thanks for listening. We hope you have an amazing week.
Thanks for listening.
Let's listen to our exit music.
Oh, here it comes.
Snap.
Get your doobies ready.
Snap.
Or get your church clothes on. I don't know which one to do.
Both.